Hello, hello, it's Rebecca. I hope you are doing well today. I hope you are finding yourself in excellent health, and I hope that you are in good spirits. So, today I wanted to talk about our belief system and when did we stop believing that it was possible to have a healthy body and to reach a healthy weight. You know, if we go all the way back to when we were children, ladies, you might have had a dollhouse, you might have had dollies, you might have had a Barbie doll house. You know, I had a Barbie doll house when I was growing up. My mom bought me one that had, I think it was 3 floors, and I loved putting it together. And I loved what could be. I loved dreaming about how Barbie met Ken and how they would get along and all of these things that little girls do when they're dreaming. You know, one of the things that I really loved was playing with my mom's Barbies. My mom had some of the most awesome original Barbies that probably ever existed. I don't know that you could actually find them today, but I saw them. I did. I was only allowed to play with them in a very limited space and probably for a very limited time, and rightly so. I mean, she had to protect those things and just let no harm come to them. But I would play with those Barbies, and sometimes I would play with just those exclusively. And then I would revert back to playing with the Barbies that I had and with the dollhouse, and I would dream. I would dream about the house that Barbie lived in, what it might feel like to live in that big house with the little plastic elevator that went all the way up to the 3rd floor with the couch, and we'd spend time decorating it and all of these things. At some point, did you ever stop and think at which point did we stop dreaming about how things were possible? You know, I always thought that it would be possible to lose weight and keep it off. I did dream about it. I dreamed about it when I was in my 20s. It was more of like an obsession for me. It was an obsession as to how I would actually lose weight and actually keep it off. It was so much so that I kept trying and I kept trying and I kept trying, just like getting up on that bicycle again that I would fall off of in the very beginning. And I kept trying. But you know, so many of us, we just stop trying. We're told that we should just accept things the way that they are. We should just accept ourselves for how we are. Accept your weight because it's never going to be any different. Just accept that you can't make it happen. Just accept that this is your body, as much as you might dislike it. Let me say 2 things about that. I am all for the accepting part because, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, and one of my largest weight loss mistakes was that I couldn't actually accept myself for who I was. In fact, I believed that as I was unacceptable. I was unacceptable. And the other piece to that is I didn't like my body, and I didn't know how to fix it. It never occurred to me that you could fix it. And then once I realized that it was something that I had to do, then that became a journey. Because I couldn't just look at myself in the mirror and say, oh, love this body. Love what this body does for me. I love that my heart beats endlessly and pumps blood through the veins and the arteries, and that it takes it to where it needs to go, and it bathes my body in nutrients. No, I could not get there. And I too, I compared myself. Probably not so much as maybe what others did. I think I compared myself to where I was to where I wanted to be because I often paid attention to the gap. I paid attention to the gap as to where I was and where I wanted to be. You know, in the days of social media, I think social media gets a really bad rap, but I think that if you use it in the right way, it can connect you with people that you never would otherwise meet. Perhaps it can be a really small world, so you never know. But perhaps when we use social media to compare ourselves to someone else, to someone else's body, and then we begin to have all of these ideas that we are not acceptable as the way that we are and the way that we are showing up. Because look at this person over here. Look at her. Look at what she's done. This is where the part comes in to loving yourself right where you are. That doesn't mean that you lose sight of the goal that you have in mind. Once you have decided that you want to reach a healthier weight, why would you choose anything else? Nothing else makes sense, because why would you show up as a lesser version of yourself? Showing up as a lesser version of yourself every day is just, well, selling yourself short, right? Can you see what I'm getting at? It's okay to love yourself, and in fact, you should love yourself right where you are right now, in this moment. Bathe yourself in that love every day, every hour, every minute that you think of it. Do it. Fall in love with yourself. Now, I have to admit that this was a foreign concept to me in the very beginning. I didn't know that self-love was very important. I had heard of self-care and, we should take care of ourselves. But what does that really mean? The self-love means stop looking in the mirror and saying how you dislike this role and that role and these thighs and this stomach and these triceps, and I need better biceps and I need a smaller waist, and if only I could fit into those jeans that I've been carrying around and stashing away every summer. If only. Why do we live in the world of if only? We have bodies that are there for us every day. The heart beats relentlessly, and we don't even have to try. If we think about the miracle of the body that it is, those are the things that we should be reveling in. Why do you want to hate the beauty of what is actually serving you? So give it some love and start dreaming again about what's possible. A lot of us think, but if you really want to lose weight, if you want to reach a healthy weight, it's really all about calories, and that's just the end of the story. Okay, well, let me just say that might be the beginning, or maybe it's the middle. What I can tell you is that's absolutely not all of the story. It's only part of the story. It's only part of the things that we have to do. It's only the part of the things that we should want to do. Because if our goal is to reach a healthy weight, there are some things that we have to do, and there are some things that we have to embrace. There are some things that we want to incorporate in our daily habits. You feel me on this, right? We have to get to the place to where we stop comparing ourselves to others and stop feeling less than, and let the one out of the many decide how we should feel about ourselves on any given day. You love yourself, and that is what matters. Now, if you want to reach a healthy weight, that is a beautiful path. And it's really too bad that I didn't see it that way in the beginning. And it's really too bad that a lot of people don't see it that way. We develop this almost this level of self-hate for our body and what we believe that it can't do and that it's working against us, and oh, my body hates me, and it doesn't do what I want, and this is just so frustrating. Oh yeah, I can go back there. I could totally go back there. Did you feel that? I have been there. I've been there more times than I care to share. I've been there more times than what you would ever care about hearing about. But here's the thing. If we think about what's possible, we think about all of the different ways and the things maybe that we don't know. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking, well, this is nothing new. How do you know? How do you know that this is nothing new? Because I don't know everything. And believe me, I have studied these topics and connected topics and surrounding topics and related topics for the better part of 22, 23 years. I don't know everything. I still have to be open to learning things precisely for that reason. So what if there was a different way? What if there was a way that actually resonated with you, that didn't feel like an uphill battle, that didn't feel like an internal fight every time you wanted to make a change or you thought about making change? What if? What if you didn't have to do that? It's possible. It's possible. And you know, one of the things that you could do is you could start with a free resource that I created called The 5 Things That the Weight Loss Industry Doesn't Talk About. And in that resource, I actually talk about some things that impact the journey to reaching a healthy weight, because there are things that do impact it. And there are things that almost no one ever talks about. And they are really important. I don't want to tell you everything because I want you to go get it. So click the link below and pick up the resource. You know, I created it just for you because there were a lot of things that I was confused about, and learning about these things brought me clarity. I learned that reaching a healthy weight is perhaps not as simple as we once thought, and there are a lot of things that actually do impact it. So I wanted to share those things with you. So I hope that you do take a little bit of time to read, go through it, pick up the important pieces, the pieces that serve you, and you might have some aha moments. I have aha moments every day because I do spend time in personal development and learning, because we can't expand if we don't learn. And that's what we have to be open to, is the teaching, the learning, the dreaming, not abandoning the dream of reaching a healthy weight. Don't just go, I'm just over that. I just can't do it. I've never said, my mom and I had many conversations about weight loss. Many conversations. And I never said, and to my knowledge, I don't think she ever said, forget it. Just will not ever try again. I knew one day I would put some pieces together and I would figure some things out. I can guarantee you it's not all about the caloric deficit, guarantee you. I think about weight loss like no one else does. And I am going to talk to you about my story, my journey, how I came to find this journey, but not in this video. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Talk soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.